One woman's journey into writing and publishing began in the most unlikely place, prison. Wahida Clark, a best-selling author, started writing while incarcerated, and now she is joining us this morning to talk about her life, her work. Good morning to you, Wahida. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Ed. Thanks for having me. Good morning, San Diego.
All right. Yes, glad you are with us here. Tell us a little bit about your background. Fascinating here. Your first book, you wrote it while you were locked up. What were you in prison for, and what gave you this idea to write while you were inside?
Good question. I was working for an advertising company. I was a top salesperson. So one day I'm at work, and unbeknownst to me, I hear all this banging and noise. I said, oh my gosh, they're fighting at the workplace? What kind of place is this? But it wasn't a fight between employees. It was the authorities kicking the doors down because the company that I was working for was a bad company. And as they came in with the guns drawn and screaming, you have the girl, and handcuffing everybody, I'm like, who's the girl? Who's the girl? And I was the girl because I was the top salesperson. The government was hoping that I would help them, by taking a stand and help them with their case. But I was an employee that was in love with sales. So while I was in prison, I had two teenage. I took the case to trial and I lost. I had two teenage daughters at home. My husband was also incarcerated. So while in prison, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It costs money to live in a federal prison. I needed to take care of my two daughters, and I also needed to set a nest egg up for when I came home. So lo and behold, my job was at the prison library. And one day I picked up a magazine and it had an article in there, sidebar, of this guy that was in prison and had written a book. And I said, I'm in prison. I'm going to write a book. So that's what made me start writing while I was in prison.
And what is some of your, what do you enjoy writing about? What are some of the stories that you want people to read?
Yes. I'm Wahida Clark, the official queen of street literature, AKA street lit. Street lit is a genre of the hood, the murder, the sex, the drugs, the prison, the hood stuff. So I write those stories because that's where I'm from. And that's the stories that I write about.
Gotcha. So how many books now have you cranked out here? And you got out of prison it's been a while since you've been out, but when did you get out and how many books have you written?
Yes, when I was released in 2007, I served 9.5 years.
Wow.
I walked out the door with 7 books. Ooh. And had 2 major publishing companies, with Hachette and one with Kensington, right behind the bars.
Interesting. So obviously writing was a positive outlet for you and helped you get through that time while you were incarcerated.
Absolutely. I tell the young people coming up and new people that's going in the system, if you're going in, have a plan, because you can't get that time back. Don't waste time. Everybody does their time differently. I just chose to write because I didn't know how to write, but I said I had to do something to feed my family. So right now I have 26 books.
Wow.
But I wrote 7 while in prison.
What do you think?
I started my own publishing company.
Yeah, I heard that. And what's the name of the publishing company?
Wahida Clark Presents Publishing.
There you go. There you go. And you got some of those books behind you there. I mean, what do you want these readers to kind of walk away with when they read your books?
A reality check, and karma. What you do comes back to you. May not come back immediately, but it will come back. So watch what you do. Watch the company that you keep and the roads that you travel.
There you go. Because those are all good messages, life messages, I would think there too. So I know that you're behind some causes now, right? What are some of the other positive impacts you've had since you've gotten out?
Well, right before I came home, when I was locked up, I was in there with Martha Stewart. When she came in for that little 6 months, I saw her. So I had, since I was in prison and my books was such a success, other inmates from around the country started writing me and like, wow, you did it. How did you do it? Publish my book. Show me how to write. So I end up writing a business plan. I had Martha Stewart look at my business plan.
No way. Huh.
And when I came home, I had the business plan and I launched the business plan. So now I help other authors that's in prison I published quite a few, but we also have a organization, Prodigal Sons and Daughters. It's geared at prisoner reentry, and just giving them a hand up and not a handout, but a hand up, because I know what I experienced inside and when I came home.
How many people can say they were in prison with Martha Stewart and were working on business plans while locked up? You know what I mean, Wahida? That's quite the story to tell. I mean, did you ever just write a book about all of everything that's happened in your life? I think that would also be a fascinating one.
I know, not yet, but we are working on a docu-series, the Queen of Street Lit docu-series, chronicling my journey.
There you go. Well, that'll be something to watch for sure, visually too, not just on the paperback. What would you tell some aspiring writers? We only got about 30, 40 seconds left here. What do you want to tell aspiring writers?
Don't overthink it. Most people that want to write a book, they take forever because they overthink it. They try to get it perfect. The main thing to do is a brain dump immediately, and just and write, and just set a schedule and write and get it done. That's the trick.
Oh, I love that. Wahida Clark, where can people learn more? Where can they get your books?
Yes, I'm everywhere. Definitely the website, wclarkpublishing.com, but Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, my books are everywhere.
Wahida Clark, bouncing back from being locked up to a successful author. Really appreciate your time here this morning.
Thank you.